Welcome to Hope and Sunshine Fine Art Studio. This is where our video classes begin and where you will learn to create art from your heart. We hope you enjoy.
Welcome to Hope and Sunshine Fine Art Studio. I am so pleased and happy for all the wonderful messages that I've been receiving. I want to thank all of my students. I have 80 students and almost 500 some follower, which is surpassed whatever I dreamed that these classes could be. I am very, very grateful, and I'm going to give that credit to the Fulton County Board of Commissioner who had made this possible by selecting me as a local artist to do these classes. And this is going to be our last class of this year. And I wanted to make very, very um, patent that this my gratitude is going to all of you guys who are following me, have been following me for all of these classes, and for the Fulton County Board of Commissioner and all the people involved in selecting me with this grant. And I'm very, very happy, very, very grateful, and I hope that you like my um, last class as much as I been happy to do this. I've been absolutely thrilled to create a new design that is going to be very striking. I hope that you guys like it. I call it the Christmas Angel of Peace, and because peace is what we would like to have not only in our nation, we like to have it all over the world. I think that this is a very spiritual, uplifting, and it has a beautiful message of my own person, because I am a very spiritual person, and it's a message from my heart to all of you in this last class. As you could see, this is a pretty conception of what I believe that it will be very happy to have. This is the angel of peace, and I hope that this angel could touch all of you guys' soul and bring peace to your home and to your life, and like it have been given to me when I was designing this. And we're going to begin to do this class right now because time is absolutely running, and I don't want it to lose any more time. We're going to begin to do the design right now, and I have my canvas here prepared for beginning. The first thing that we do is just create the boundaries. I have one um, wing over here, the head over here, and we're going to create the face of this angel. And I hope that you guys like the way that this angel is being giving peace to everybody while we're doing this, like it had been given to me yesterday when I was designing it. I'm going to create the shoulder, and this sleeve, the hand who's been holding the dove. Because the dove is a symbol of peace, I thought that it was very, very uplifting to do this. I love the symbolism of spiritual uh, blessing that we have with this. Sometimes when I am creating something, I've been thinking in how it's going to be touching the person who are watching me, or the person who are enjoying this um, designing along the time, because art is a way. Art goes to the soul. We express a message, and we express what we're thinking, but later on with time, these also touch people who see it. And every single artist have their own conception of whatever uh, love is, whatever peace is, whatever. And that's what I'm trying to convey. I'm doing over here on my wing, the first wing, and I'm trying to convey a message with all my paintings. And this message today is creating love, creating harmony, creating peace. And we all love, especially this year, to have been so trialsome and so um, difficult for many people. Our nation and the whole world have been through a testing in many different ways. And in many different ways, we have to also create the condition to overcome any time of testing that we might have. I'm creating over here this leaf and the hand who's sustaining the dog. And we're going to do the first wing and the second wing. This is something that I've been thinking very deeply in how I will do this last class. And I have another design before, but I didn't find that that design was appropriate. I think that this one is very appropriate for the time that we're living right now. I think that we all need to have a time to reflect what happened to all of us on this year, what happened to all of us while we've been surviving the uncertainty of this year with the COVID-19, but also how we had conquered, and many people have done that. Many people had conquered the situation and find that yes, human behavior and human resilience, when you are positive, human resilience, it does help a lot. And this is what this classes is all about, to trigger in your own way, to trigger that part of us that we have inside, that is been um, our own survival situation, that we learn how to overcome any kind of uh, difficulties in life. And this is exactly what this is all about. This class has been designed to give you the tool to uh, find out that being positive, that being a positive thinker and being optimistic works. And to me, this is part of my own way to convey to you guys that any kind of problem has a solution. And I've been tested in life many different times, and the more that I've been tested, the more I had learned how to overcome any kind of a contingency, because I'm more positive. I believe that being positive is a heck of a good way to learn how to um, utilize our own ways to survive and accomplish any kind of problems. As you can see, this angel is a message for you guys to spiritually find out that we could have a lot of help if we are believers and if we are also optimist and positive, and especially art. If it wasn't for artists that we could see beauty in every single scene, life would be very, very boring. And we made the contribution for us to survive any type of problem, but also we made the contribution for helping other person to see what we do, see what we could see. And we could see beauty in any single situation. And beauty is what helps us to go through any type of problem. Uh, in the middle of any turmoil, in the middle of any learning process, because I consider life like a learning process, we could have time to enjoy and rejoice, to be positive, to be optimistic, to be creative. And that's what artists' contribution is for the rest of the humanity, the rest of the people who see us and admire what we do. In my art classes, in my art life, when I do art shows, I see the comments of the people who goes and participate in the shows. I see the rapport that I create with my paintings, and the people who are coming over and see what I do. I see also the way that we portray our life and the way we could just work out our own situations, our own experiences. I see also how we contribute to embellish other people's life and also to help other people to begin to see what we see. Artists, it might be a different kind of people. Artists, we are sensitive, we are creative, we are um, sometimes we are organizers, and sometimes we are, um, I would say, um, the the vehicle that show to other people how we could do things in another different way. And many people who participate in my art shows gave me a beautiful comments, a beautiful rapport, and I'm being happy also through the internet. Now that I am in Facebook, I have comments who are being very, very fabulous to me, because I cannot see you, but you could see me, and you could see the message that I'm giving with my paintings, and recognition of that, the recognition of the effort that I do to create something pretty, but also convey a message with whatever I do, convey the message of peace, love, unitedness, happiness, and optimism. And that's what it drives us. That's exactly what drives all of us artists. Whatever artist it might be, whatever uh, medium, because there is performing artists, there is singers, there are musicians. All of these people, they have a common denomination, have a common vehicle to express what they feeling, what they are um, subjected to convey with their paintings or with their compositions or with their music or whatever they do. We are sensitive people. We are created. We are um, most of the time different, because we could see things that other people don't see, because our eyes are trained to see beauty. Our souls are expressing that beauty in what we do, and it is absolutely fabulous to be able to do that. It doesn't mean that you cannot do it, because if I could do it, you could do it too. I'm not better than you are. It's just I've been practicing for a long time, and I recommend all my students to keep practicing. Keep The more you practice, the more you become better. The more you experiment, also the more you learn. I've been experimenting most of my life, also with different medias. I am a self-taught artist. I born with a gift, but I never had the chance to go to a university. I have other degrees. I have 7 of them, but I'm not in art. But art has been to me the vehicle, the tool that I've been blessed to have uh, in my life to not only express who I am, it's just to also overcome uh, testing the life I put in my life also. Uh, Art, it is sometimes the best the best tool that I have for helping me to overcome problems in life. Art has been the vehicle that I had to encourage myself to be creative also, but it's just the vehicle who are been giving me the way for me to for a time being I have been able to find solutions to in my careers, in my other careers. I am a healer. I am um, a therapist, and in my career, I have been using art as a tool to not only help other people, to help myself, and I have. Well, my angel is done, and now I'm gonna create my light over here, my star, and we're gonna start painting right in 5 seconds. This is a conception of something that I was thinking, because I would like to express peace. I am a peace person. I'm a peace lover. I believe that human beings should just grow up spiritually to be seeking peace. And because I had done a lot of self, um, I would say self learning, how to cope with my own, uh, I would say my own conception of things and my own imperfections. I've been taking a lot of classes to overcome my own imperfections in many ways, and that has helped me to also help other people, because when we when we discovered that doing a whole different way of thinking, we could just find solutions for any kind of problem that life put us as a test. It does make a big difference for many people, and for me, art has been my tool that I have used many times, because when I'm creating, I am open. My channels are open to receive, and my brain have been creating things and find solutions for problems better that way. And I recommend you guys to do some like that. Meditation is one of the best things, either yoga or simple praying or simple meditation. It helps for you to create your own way to overcome any kind of problems. We go to the university to be trained for a career, but we don't have any university to teach us how to live, or how to live better. And this is exactly what art have been to me. Art have been my way to find out the right message and um, the right way to solve my own problems in my own life. And I'm going to begin to start painting right now because this angel is very beautiful, and it will be absolutely a thrill to have it done on time. If we don't have time enough, I will just show the ending, the already done, and we'll go from there. But I hope that I could just do this really quick. I'm painting my white portion over here because the palette is going to be very simple. The palette is going to be just white, purple, blue, a little bit of yellow and brown for the eye, the hair, but mainly the basic color and the main colors of these paintings is just white and purple. Because this is very easy to do, you just cover the whole scene and later on when it dries, come back and do the outlining of the feathers and outlining of the shade. But time, most of the time is my friend, but it's my enemy because sometimes I tend to be too perfectionist, and I don't have enough time to do that in 2 hours for a production like this. But we're gonna try to do it as fast as we can. Remember that I also be telling my students to use with the acrylic because it's a acrylic is a base water based medium, to use a liquidate professional pouring medium that will help to get the patina that the acrylic paint doesn't have. In this way, I'm creating something that it will shine like I am doing uh, oil painting. Remember that different medias like oil, watercolor, or pastel, they are totally different from each other, and they have their own method to do it and also their own beauty. But I find that this is a very nice thing to do because it's simple, it's water based, and it's very beautiful, and it's very easy to paint with. And I'm covering all the white portion, and later on I go over and do the shading. This angel is so pretty and is so, I would say it's romantic and very spiritual. Something like me. I am very romantic and spiritual. But this is something that I love to paint. I love to paint angels because inspire me. I always said that we have in the realm of angels and in the realm of um, things that we cannot see, there is a lot of beauty and there's a lot of help also. Angels, we all have an angel, and we all have um, the way that angels are in our lives, helping us to survive our journey over here. I'm done with the big portion of it, and I'm going to just do the small one, which is the dog, and we're going to be creating the hair real soon. And this is going to be a very easy painting for you guys to do. It doesn't matter what your situation is, if even if you are a beginner, this is easy. All what you need to do is do not give up, do not um, get yourself impressed, do not self. Also, I have been hearing some people who say, I cannot paint. And I said, okay, everybody could paint, everybody could do something. It's just some people, they self-sabotage themselves, and they convince themselves that they cannot do it. And in my classes, when I have a student in my own studio, I convince them that yes, they could do it. Even if you don't know how to do something, you could learn. Anybody could learn. And after they find out that this way of thinking is very positive, they find out that they could do it. Because if I could do it, I'm no better than you guys are. You could do it too. It's just a matter that I've been doing it for a long time, and I've been testing myself, and I've been trying myself to be better. And everything is that way too. If you try, instead to convince yourself that you cannot do it, instead to be more positive and say, hey, if she could do it, I could do it too, and then try, you find out that yes, you could do it. Absolutely, there is no doubt about that. And this is something that I've been convincing my students to do. Do not self-sabotage yourself. Do not put a limit in what you could do. Any single thing is possible in life. It's just a matter of your way to perceive and your way to do not give up. And something that I've been using along my career is uh, the conviction that if if I see somebody doing something, I could do it too. Sometimes I am maybe a little daring, but there's nothing wrong with that neither. If you're a little daring, that is fabulous. Surround yourself with daring people, people who are creative, people who are um, don't have any whatsoever uh, blockage in their mind to do things. Many wonderful things and wonderful people in life who have been that way. And those are the one who we have to be grateful because they are the one who are making life easier for the rest of us. I'm trying to do over here some extra hair that I forgot to do, and we got it. One of the things that I always tell to my students is do not give up. Be patient, because to be an artist you have to be patient. You have to be also practicing. Practice is one of the most wonderful things that you could do. Practice gave you the absolutely way to perfect whatever technique you are in. I'm trying to reach over here my red because this hair is a little bit of yellow, a little bit of brown, a little bit of red to kind of get that combination of not over, not blonde, but not also boring. And I had it over here, and I'm going to just start doing the outlining. If you could see, it's a combination of yellow, brown, red to create the strand of hair that it will give a very nice look to this angel. I recommend you guys to also keep practicing. The more you practice, the more you find out that you get better and better and better. If you don't practice, any kind of a career is always training you to be perfecting yourself, and that is the way that we all learn in life. Any career, any endeavor, and even the trade companies who does any other thing that there is not a career, but it's just a, a training for any kind of a thing that you wanted to do. You need to be practicing. The more you practice, the better it is. The more you get better, and that's what is the key of everything. I am a perfectionist, and perfectionist people never get happy with their own creation. I am the worst of my enemies sometimes because I wanted to do things so perfect, and to learn it to do that, it forced me to be better and better, and it forced me to find out my own way to do things. I'm going to create right now with a little bit of white and a little bit of red the flesh tone for the, and I have a big set over here, and I have the flesh tone already done because I've been giving away packages with 12 colors, but there is sometimes 25 or 48 kits of color that there is already done. You don't have to create the new shades of paint. And in this case, I don't have to create the flesh tone because it's already done. I encourage you guys to keep practicing, and I encourage you guys to be very aware that in many paintings, um, you should be selecting art supplies that they help with the prices also. Art is very expensive sometimes, but there is many ways to minimize that cost. And I find out that in many ways I had find ways that I could just um, create my own colors using different medias, and in that way I could just uh, be avoiding to misspend money. Art is not cheap, but it is fabulous to be able to create something that help the beauty of your surrounding, because anything that you could do on your own, even if you give it away. I've been giving away my paintings for many years until my husband convinced me that I was good enough to compete with the best of the artists who have been training in universities. And that is a situation that I learned how to self feel that yes, I could just compete with them and became a teacher, and that's what I did. Along the years, I learned enough to become a teacher because I've been practicing and practicing, researching and researching. I went to the Smithsonian Institute, and I find out that one of the things that I do in painting silk is an old ancient Chinese um, method that it was almost um, no use for many years, and I'm painting in silk because I did research and I did keep looking and did dig in all the information that I need to have until I mastered it. And that's exactly what I'm trying to convey to you guys. You're learning with me a little bit, but you could learn more if you master your own career. If you want to become a professional artist, you could master your own self with time. And that's exactly what I am recommending you guys to do. learn the basics over here with me, but keep learning on your own, because that is what will make you a better person, a better artist. In any other way, in any other um, thing that you accomplish in life, the more that you practice something, the more you get better with, the more better you get. I'm going to use a little bit of black, very, very small portion of black to enhance that hair a little bit. And I'm using my fight brush, my fight, um, my very fine brush, which is a 5-0 brush, to do some highlighting over here to create the illusion of hair. And you could see it's very easy. And you might say, okay, you're making it easy, but it's not so easy for me. It is easy if you just think that it's easy. I tell you that many people self-sabotage themselves thinking that they cannot do it. I did that for a while when I was very young, until I find out that yes, I could do it. And if I could do it, you could do it too. It's not a big difference between you and me. It's just I was determined enough to keep doing it. And I did. That's why I'm able right now to teach you guys. I'm just highlighting a little bit the hair to kind of pop it up. As you could see, it's very easy, very simple. And if you keep thinking that way, and you keep thinking that yes, art is a simple thing, it's just a coordination of what you see, visual, and a coordination between your brain and your perception, and also your brush in your hand. It's a fine way to coordinate all of that. And in any single thing that you do, how you perceive something is the difference. If you train your eyes to perceive beauty, you see beauty. If you train your eyes to see how you could just create something pretty to give away or to keep yourself, it's absolutely fabulous. And I tell you, if I could do it, you could do it too. I create this hair to pop off very pretty, and I'm going to start outlining a little bit with a little bit of white, outlining a little bit of shiny scene over here, that it looks more real. One of the things that I recommend is to get good brushes. Brushes are very expensive sometimes, but they are ways that you could just select when you go and buy brushes, select what you need, and it's good to invest in good brushes, because like everything else, if you have a good tool, you have good results also. I'm doing some white little details over here to create a little bit of shading and a little bit of sparkling. to create the hair a little bit more visible and more prettier. Mix them up with yellow. Mix them up yellow and white to create these strands. And you will see at the ending result, it works like a charm. And now I have my arms and my face done, and a little bit of shading. I'm going to start doing the wings and the right now. Outlining the whole scene is very simple. We use blue and a little bit of medium again, because this medium is so wonderful to give that patina look that at the end doesn't look like acrylic, which is the acrylic paints are made very, they don't have shiny look, but if you use this patina, I mean, if you do this, the medium, it gets a patina color that it kind of a um, mimic the the look of the paint. It looks exactly like oil painting. I'm gonna use my bigger brush to create right now very simple with just water. Extend this color. I mean, if it is too much, we could use our friend over here, our Q-tip, and get the water, excess of water out. And I'm going to be using my finer brush to do the outlining. And I'm going to outline everything to make it more visible. Remember to do one stroke most of the time, even if it is a long line. If you do one stroke only, it helps a lot. Remember that art is an illusion. You create the illusion using your shading in many different ways to create folding like this one, I paint the center over here to create the folding shade to make it visible. I encourage you guys to keep practicing. Encourage you guys to do your own style, develop your own style. When I have a student over here, I respect their own style. I just give it the confidence to work on it and also give it the techniques because different medias are different techniques. But I always try to for them to come to accomplish anything by creating their own style. Each artist have their own way to perceive, and I respect that a lot because every person who try to change drastically other person perception, I don't think is good. I think we have to, as a teacher, we have to respect our own student ways to do things, and that's something that I do. I respect very much your own way to perceive things, their own way to create something, whatever it is, even if it's a still life or like this, a dress or whatever it is. I encourage my students to create their own style, create their own way to do things. It's very important because not everybody's look the same or perceive the same. I'm just doing some shading to create this dress a little bit more and go over with white and create the visualization of the dress foldings. I encourage you guys to observe many things. Observe whatever you have around, wherever you are. Observe how the fold of the clothing have different tonalities when you are washing a dress or anything that implies to be a fabric. Certain fabric look one way and certain fabric look the other way. I encourage you guys to do that, to start looking how fabric of different materials appears to be when you see it, when a person is wearing. Uh, that's part of the perception, that's part of the way that you start determining how light light it does play in every single thing that you see, whether it is during the day, whether it is during the night. Light it changes uh, everything, and if you see there is um, no difference when you are painting something, the light that you are having around, it will make a big difference in everything that you paint. And I am recommending you guys to do good lighting in your studio, or if you don't have a studio, uh, look for a um, look for a window that you could see, and the best thing that you could do is just situate the window uh, that is aimed to the north, because the north light is the best light to paint with. you will see that little by little when you are becoming a little bit more proficient. You will see how the light play in everything changes absolutely the appearance of anything that you're painting. Light, whatever it is, the light coming from, also is something that you have to be very observant to do that, because that is a big uh, difference. Light could be your worst enemy if it is too intense, or not helping if it's not too much. Okay, I have my dress almost done. I'm going to do the outlining of the sleeve, and I'm going to start doing. Remember also that when you do something, um, start from the left to the right. In that way, you don't interfere with the paints. In that way, you don't create a mess with your own clothing. Paint from left to right. In that, if you are a right-handed, if you are a left-handed, that's another story. But if you are right-handed, paint from left to right. In that way, you don't mess it up your clothing. I'm painting the sleeves, and I have a little bit of too much color over here, and I go up with some white to make the folding of this sleeve a little bit more lighter, that create the folding. As I tell you, art is 99% of patience, perception, conviction, and determination to do it, and also is part of whatever you conceive, whatever you perceive that the painting could be. Okay, I'm done with the line, and I'm going to start doing my wings over here. And this is going to be very easy to do because it's already this lighted, and I'm just using my fine brush. I have different fine brushes. My favorite one is the 50, but I have also 3 or 4 zeros, and depending upon the surface of what I'm doing, I'm using whatever is needed. For fine details, I use my 50, and I'm recommending also every time that you do something that is like this long, just do the motion as much as you can in one one stroke. I'm creating the outlining of my wings over here in one stroke. If you try yourself, your own hand to do one stroke, it will help you better. Because if you go one, like the beginners, most of the time they tend to do a small stroke one after another one, and they don't have the continuity that one stroke gives. I'm doing the outlining of my feathers over here. Very easy. I'm going to use my fine brush to do because it's very little details. And after that I will do the shading to give an appearance of different things, different it looks like a tedious work when you do feather type design, but it's just so pretty when it's done. I love to see the effect of the feather when I finish a wing. I love to paint feathers, and I have done a whole bunch of different kind. After I outline all the feathers, I come back and retouch, like here, that is too much, I retouch. And if I goof, I have my friend over here who will give me the solution for the goofing. I could have leave. As I tell you, the Q-tips are your best friend, and they are becoming my best friend for many, many years. I recommend you also to start looking at books of art that give you information about different medias, different methods to use different medias, and in that way you get also the history of art in many countries, because there's many different styles depending on the country. The masters in Italy teach us how to do portraits beautifully, and the masters in Italy in the in the in the 1400, 1500, they didn't have the paintings that we do have manufactured today. They used to do their own paintings, their own pigments. 90% of them, they mix their own paintings. They took an all the masters have been for years and years as apprentice with other famous artists later on, and it takes years and years to learn it. Now with the wonderful benefit that we have in our modern times. We don't need to have so much time invested in just creating paints. We do kind of buy it, and it's different kind of them, different kind of prices. And if you are becoming, if this is not only going to be your own um, way to do seen as a hobby, if you want to become an artist, professional artist, I encourage you to do a lot of research and what is the best paint, what are the best art suppliers, the more expensive and the less expensive, and do your own judgment to find, according to your budget, find the right paint to do. I've been doing that for years. I learned how to discern to do not spend too much money. I learned how to uh, find my own searches, but it is a learning process in many ways. Same thing that you do with your groceries or whatever product you buy for your home, same thing happens with art. Every single manufacturer is different. Every single manufacturer have their own different techniques, and but we don't have to do that anymore like it used to be with the masters. We don't have to spend time doing paint. We could create it, or we could just do it, buy it. I've been finding that it's fabulous to um, explore other sources. And I have been painting with coffee. I've been painting with many things that you guys don't even vitamin C. Uh, is part of the curiosity that I do have to be unique. And I've been having beautiful results with doing paintings that smell delicious, especially the paintings with coffee. It smells delicious, and I find out the way to do it, and I impress most of my clients doing that. But it's many ways because I am a therapist. I've been also learning how to paint with different medications. Yeah, believe me, some of them they're fabulous tints. I've been painting with uh, paprika. I've been painting with coffee and because depending of the colorant that uh, different product have, you could do. I remember once that I did a painting in while I was doing a camping. We have Gatorade and we have Coca-Cola and we have different things that I don't drink, but I use it to paint. And I paint with Coca-Cola. I have paint with paprika. I have paint with coffee. I have paint with tea and certain medication that they have colors, and it's fabulous because it looks different, but it's part of the funny thing that we could do when we are curious. And maybe that's I leave it up to you to um, start exploring different things and start doing your own discoveries because you're gonna have a lot of fun doing that. I'm having now the good thing to paint my bigger feathers, and I'm going to be down over here easier. One of the things that I recommend you to do is don't give up. Keep exploring your own surroundings. There is many things that you could do with art. Um, Whatever inspire you, whatever motivate your soul, because every single person have their own different way to perceive things. But whatever inspire you, go for it. Don't don't think that this is something that you cannot do. If I could do it, you could do it. And I've been very, very creative in my life because I am very curious, and it's part of my way to do things different. Just be careful, don't become extremely different. But if you are conservative, like I am, you could do create things with many things that other people do not even think about it. When you have a vivid imagination, every single thing works. And that's what helps artists. Every single artist have a vivid imagination. And if you don't have vivid imagination, you could create one. Because it's just a matter of going out of the ordinary, go out of the normal rules. Uh, you could discover that you could do things that is unbelievable. Because along my years, I never thought I could do a whole bunch of things that I'm doing right now. Do not allow anybody to limit your imagination. Um, while the imagination goes, do not allow. I'm going to talk to you guys in regard also to people who love to criticize artists. There is many people that I have been encountered with in my art um, uh, exhibition that they give their opinion on how to do things and how. And I once have a lady who are very, um, I would say, very good in criticizing, but not criticizing constructively because I love constructive criticism. It was very destructive, and uh, in my artwork, I gave her a brush, and I said, "Well, if you think you could just put your thoughts in what you're doing, I give you the brush for you to do what you're telling me to do." And she gonna do it, of course. And she find out that criticizing so severely is a way to destroy a person's self-esteem. Don't allow anybody to do that to you. Don't allow anybody to be destructing your self-esteem. This is something that we should respect. You could do a suggestion, you could receive a suggestion because I have learned a lot with people who suggested me to do this, to do that. I have learned a lot, and I am very grateful to have people like that. But do not allow anybody to destroy your self-esteem doing a destructive criticism. And it's many people, they love to do that. In the beginning, I cried. When I was younger, I used to do um, exhibition, and I used to cry with certain comments that I have from the viewers until I learned not to be so, um, I would say, accepting their own way to perceive things and not accepting them to destroy my self esteem. I learned to do that, but it took me years to learn that too. And I believe that everybody could give you a suggestion, everybody could give their own opinion, and they are entitled to do that, but not in the way that they could destroy your best way to do things. Don't allow anybody to do that. Um, I have learned to be very patient and very understanding with people comments because everybody seems like they have a second um, way to make an artist do different things, and one of the other things that I have learned also is with art critics. Art critics are sometimes very, very destructive, and I used to cry when I heard some of their comments. But I learned how to not off myself, but I learned how to do not allow people to make me feel down. Eh, Nobody had the right to do that with anybody. Okay, I have my wings all done. I'm just gonna go a little bit out with white to do the patina a little bit and diffuse a little bit of the shading to give more appearance of reality and also to shine these little feathers. And I'm going to start doing the little base, and we're gonna be successfully getting this done. I am a perfectionist and I am my own worst critic. And when I do things, I come back and look at it, what I do, and I try to fix it the best I can. And in this way, I'm going to just define a little bit this darker blue, define both sides of this wing, because when I put the base and I will do the background, it will pop up. You will see. Well, I have my angel almost done. I'm gonna do my dog, and you could change the position of your canvas to make it easier every time that you do something different. The good thing with acrylic paint that they dry really quick, and this is something that you could do really easy. I could paint on top of this without any problem because it's almost done, it's almost dry. I encourage you guys to do not be scared with this painting. It's easier than other painting that we had done. It's a matter of be patient with yourself. Shading is also one thing that you need to be very conscientious about it, because not all the surfaces uh, are subjected to be uh, the more you see how light could change your subject, the more you see how to do it. It's a matter of perception, it's a matter of your own way to see things. Because this dove is very small, I'm going to come back with a little bit of the medium, to make it shiny, and also make the the surface look more real. And we are done. I'm going to go back a little bit with the face and the arms with a little bit of red and white to outline, because when I do the background, this is going to pop off very beautiful. What I would like to have is your comment. I all love to have my student comments of everything that I do. Please don't hesitate to send me emails. My phone is not good in texting, but if you send me an email, I would love to hear that. I would love to hear your comments. Especially with this design. This design is so beautiful. I love it. I got to do my um, start over here with a little bit of silver paint and start doing the background right away, and we're almost done. I want to thank today again my dear friend who's helping me today with the taping of this video taping of this class, because my regular lady technician is still recovering from the COVID-19 that she got. Thank God she didn't transfer it to me, and I'm happy because my immune system seems to be working really good. I didn't get sick, and even if she was very sick, I didn't get it. And I was exposed, but I didn't have it. Thank God. But Marco have been my guardian angel over here. He's my best friend. He's my art partner. Have been um, helping me with this, and I want to thank him today for being patient and being helpful to do this work, because without him this class wouldn't be possible. I'm aligning the dress over here because when I do the background, the dress will pop up. The background is very dark. To create the background, if I don't have enough time, because it takes 2 or 3 coats of paint, I have 1 hour, thank God, and I will show the original one that I did yesterday if I don't have enough time because of the 3 coats that I need to do the background. But I will explain how to do it, and you will have no whatsoever problem. And if you have any problem, you have my email. You could ask me questions, and I will be more than happy to help anybody who are contacting me. I've been doing that. All my students have been giving me wonderful, wonderful feedback, and I am very grateful to them. But if you need any help, don't hesitate to contact me via email, happyespi at 17@gmail.com. I will be more than happy to help. Again, my email is happyespi espi17 at gmail.com. If you send me an email, I will absolutely make sure that you will have an answer if you have any problem. I'm very good in that. Because this is the last class, I'm planning to be back in doing this in February because I'm going to take January off. If you want to contact me to be having classes privately, I'm more than happy because I will be absolutely thrilled to have either one of you coming back and work in my studio. I have all the facility over here for 15 students, and I'm gonna switch my palette because we're gonna do the background right now. I have done my angel, the hair, the doll, and the star, and we're gonna do the background right now with a lot of purple, blue, and white. It's a combination of purple, blue, and white. What it does is that the purple give the pop off of the angel because it's a very dark color who pop off the white and the angel. And I'm doing right now the first coating. If we don't have enough time, I will show the original and you know how to do it anyhow because I've been explaining how you could do it without any problem. And if you have any problems, you could just contact me anytime. And to do this, I'm going to begin creating over here a round. If you are unable to do a round scene, you remember that I teach you how to use a lead. You could do that. In this case, I'm doing not only round, I'm doing some sort of a oval. And we're going to create the background by start painting. Mix them up, the paint, the black and the, not the black, the purple and the blue to make it darker. And be careful over here when you do this to do not interfere. This is the only portion that you have to be very, very careful to do the background to do not spoil what you had done before. Be very careful because I have the practice. I could do one stroke, and that's what I recommend, to do one stroke in every single way. Because this is the first coat, don't worry about if it is not uniform. The second coat would cover the whole scene. And I'm going to go with my fine brush and do the different indentation of the feathers. As you could see, I have strokes. The more I can, I do a stroke in one only. The more you can do strokes one's direction, that will help more. My beginners, they tend to do small strokes all the time, and I encourage them to don't do that because long strokes helps much better. Helps to coordinate. If you could see how I do it, if you could mimic that, that would be great. I do use a very fine brush for doing this, because the big brush will not do the separation of the feather, but you use the other brush for the bigger surfaces. And in the background it will need 2 or 3 coats to get the darkness that is needed. And if you mix the paint, the blue and the purple uniformly, sometimes it doesn't need 3 coats, it just needs 2. And that's what I'm going to try this time. The first beginning, when I was experimenting with the first beginning, I used 3 coats, because no matter how you paint, the brush also gives the sensation of the bristle, get the separation of the painting. But if you do mix them up with the um, medium that I'm recommending, you get more uniform pigment unity, and you get more uniform. But if you have these, don't worry about it when you go over, and let it dry. When you go over with the next coat, you will cover the whole scene without any problem. And to create the clouds, you have to let it dry. And what I do is just I do one side first, and I do the second time, and by the time that I do the second, it's already dry, the first one, and I create the effect of a very soft clouds that we have here. Because this is a big surface, don't worry about if it is not covered totally. The second coat will cover. After this one dry, the second coat will be more helpful. My wonderful friend over here is telling me that I have 30 minutes, and that's what happened 90% of the time, that in our time is our worst enemy. That means I have to hurry up the more I can. And I'm going to try to hurry up the more I can, but I don't want to spoil this painting. If I cannot finish, I will show the original one that I did yesterday and tell you how to do the motion for the clouds, which is very simple. This is nothing that you cannot do. I assure you that this is something absolutely fabulous that you could do. My beginners, I have rapport with 2 of my beginners, and they are becoming very daring, and they are having a lot of self-esteem, and they've been creating things that they never thought that they could do. And I've been very thrilled, because this is something that in art you cannot be frightful. You have to determine how to be creative, but you have to determine how to be very positive and assure yourself that yes, you could do it. If you have any doubts, that is part of the thing that you shouldn't do. Just ask me, and I will be able to help you, but please don't self sabotage yourself. because that's the worst thing that you could do in anything, not only in art, in anything that you've been accomplished in life. I'm going to put more paint over here in my palette, and I'm going to keep painting as much as I can to see if I could just meet the 30 minutes that I have left, and we'll go from there. I'm using again my big brush to mix the paint with the medium, and I'm gonna go and do the other side really quick. One thing also I remember that I been telling you guys, that the motion of your brush, it will determine also the paint, how the paint will be looking. And because this is cloud, we are mimicking clouds, we are mimicking the sky, you have to be in a motion, in one round motion all the time. I tell you that this is something that anybody could do. If you have lost your self-esteem, don't do that ever. Do the best you can. If you don't do it right in the first beginning, keep practicing again. I remember when I was learning, I used to do one painting 2 or 3 times until I got it right. I never give up. And this is the key of, not only in art, is the key in anything that you do in life. If you're learning something new and you don't do it right the first time, keep practicing, keep doing it until you master it. And that's what the key of everything is. Don't give up. In my classes, because I devote time to do techniques and explain techniques and all that, it will be easier to do other things, because I always tend to be very, very technical. In my classes, I explain very thoroughly anything that you could do with different medias. And I paint in oil, watercolor, pen and pencil, acrylics, alkyd, and also with pastels. And I do also pen and pencil. Whatever inspire you, whatever you like to do, I will help you personally over here in my studio if you come over. I have a little goofing over here, and I'm going to use my absolutely friendly Q-tip to get the paint out, because this halo over here is going to be lighter. I want to wish you guys to have a wonderful Christmas, and also wish you a wonderful new year, and whatever our nation is going to be doing this coming year, please be certain that the more positive you are, the more positive you think, the better will be. Uh, in every single situation that we have, I'm doing the border over here because in many different ways, art is something that we should be considering part of our lives. Art is the one who I'm doing, it been helping me along my other careers. I have 7 careers, and art has been helping me in my other career, because when I had to get away from some problems, I find that art have been the tool that I have been using to solve problems in all the different things. When you're painting, your brain goes into alpha brain waves, and that will is the creative portion of our brain to help us to find solution for all the different problems. And art for me have been that way. I've been um, I am an accountant, and if I tell you that doing accounting, which is a very tedious thing sometimes, art have been my vehicle to solve problems when I did have some problem doing that. When I was teaching science, I am a science teacher and also a Spanish teacher. I've been finding solutions of troubles that I find with my student doing art on my own, in my own home, in my own studio. Art have been to me the best thing who happens even when I was doing counseling, because I am a counselor, because it gave me the time to be away from whatever problem I did have and see things from another perspective and help my clients to find a better solution to their problems. And when I do meditation, I, I do also art. And art have been part of my meditation many times. To me, art have been a blessing in many ways, and I've been helping many people also doing art, because art is also a wonderful tool to uh, make any problem go away. I did the portion over here, and I'm gonna go real quick with the last part over here. And if we don't have enough time to do the shading, I'm gonna show you how to do the shading because it needs another coat. But also do any kind of brushing in the same direction. You see that I always paint in one direction. Do that. Do that because that implies that the painting will be uniformly done with the timing, with the effect that you need to have when you're doing something. The direction of the brush will absolutely help you to create any kind of scene that you need to create, any kind of effect. I'm going to use the smaller brush for the smaller sections over here. And that way I don't spoil my dress, neither spoil the angel hands. Also, if, if you want, you could find canvas uh, that they are tinted already. They are black canvas. I don't like to do black canvas too much because it is very limited you could do with a black canvas. But if you need to create something different, there is not only white canvases available in the market, it is black canvas also, and also um, there are canvases. There are I tried once a canvas whose burlap cam. I don't recommend that one too much because it's very hard to. Um, Burlap is very very coarse material, and it's very difficult to have the paint stick to that surface. I had a lot of problems creating one for lab painting, but I did it just to make sure that I could do it too. I don't recommend that to beginners because it takes a lot of energy to create something with a burlap canvas, but it works because we are creating clouds over here. I am doing semi round circles with the paint. How much time we have?
20.
20 minutes? Okay. I'm going against the time, and it's a shame that we don't have enough time to do a second coating, but I'm going to explain in the center what you should do to create the effect that I create yesterday with the original one that I painted. This is something that I recommend you guys to take your time to do. Um, Art is something that you cannot rush. Um, Take your time to do things uniformly, but don't rush it. When you're working at home, you could work at your own pace, and you could do it at your own time. Fortunately, you could see this painting in YouTube, most of you can, and I'm going to explain how to do the other section right now because we don't going to have enough time in 20 minutes to do another coating. But I'm going to explain what you're going to do. Remember also to have more than one brush. Buy at least, if you're going to become a professional, if you're doing this as a hobby, you don't want to spend too much money, that's okay. But if you could spend some money, buy at least 6 different kind of brushes, different kind of uh, width, and they are by numbers. You could buy in any art supply. I recommend if you are over here in Alpharetta, um, the best art supply place that I find over here that the prices are very reasonable is Joann Fabric. They don't only sell fabrics over there, they sell a lot of art and craft, and the prices are very reasonable. Uh, but also there is Dick Bleak, and you could also go to in, in, in Amazon. You could find good prices also. If you have an account in Amazon, you could do that. But there is many different, depending upon where you live, there is many different art suppliers that you could explore uh, the prices according to your budget. But one thing I recommend you, do not give up, keep practicing. The more you practice, the better you get. And if you get frustrated, take a deep breath, go out, have some fresh air, and leave it for a while, and come back again and do it. The more you get yourself the opportunity to succeed, the more you're succeeding. If you are one of those persons like I am that do not allow any situation to get you down, I get frustrated too. But I get frustrated very short time because I just take a deep breath, come back again, and do it. And I love to challenge myself in many different things, in many different ways. Because I don't have enough time right now to do the shading, I'm going to show with the original how to do the rest of the scene because these need now to be dry and have another coat, and I'm going to leave it and explain in the original how you do the rest. And I'm going to just mimic what you need to do. You do a second coat, mixing the blue and the purple to make it very deep. In certain areas, you paint 2 or 3 times, like I did right here, deeper color. You could mix them up if you want to with a little bit of black to make it darker, 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 and let it dry. And when you let it dry totally, that everything is dry, take a very little white, very, very little, and do this outlining of clouds with a very small amount of white, but with the tip of the brush. The tip of the brush in circular motion will mimic these little hints of a cloud here. And to make this over here is just a combination of white and white, very little, very, very small little amount of white with the medium, and purple. And white and purple. Do the white first and later on outline the purple, and you will see that it's totally, absolutely fabulous, the effect. In the center over here, do it more deeper. In that way, the star will pop off, and I hope that there is enough light over here to see it. I wanted to put the mat because the mat also create the finish of a painting and create the outline. Because this is a very dark, you could use white mat and do it this way too, whatever you like to do. uh, a white mat, it will be um, even if a lavender, it will be a good mat for this, but sometimes it's kind of a difficult to find good colors of mat. You have to have a catalog and buy it like I do professionally. But if you don't find, white mats are very, very easy to find also. I recommend you to do either one. It's depending on your taste. But you see the final effect. It is absolutely fabulous. This is the Christmas um, symbol of peace. It's an offering of peace for the world and for us, all of these. And I wish that this give you the same peace of mind that I received when I was painting. When I designed this, I was thinking that not only the whole entire world needs to be in peace right now, instead to be killing each other in many regions of this world. There's still war. I wish that the human being will understand that peace and harmony is the answer of any kind of problem. If you don't have peace and harmony in your life, you're lacking of the whole vital element that we need to succeed. And I hope that you guys learn um, to be a little bit more spiritual and a little less materialistic. Uh, but in many ways, the beautiful balance of being half and half will be helping you in your endeavors in the rest of your life to do a balance. If you have a balance between spirituality and materialism, you have acquired a harmony that you need to do with your entire life. I had to say so long. I don't want to say goodbye. I want to wish you a wonderful Christmas and wonderful New Year with a lot of hope, a lot of wonderful feelings for um, many good things to be in your ways and in your life. Keep being positive, keep being loving, keep being helpful and happy, because no matter what happened in our world or around us, if we change that, if we change the rudeness of life in some way, sometimes we have the hardness of certain situations that we probably had to encounter, take it as a learning process, take it as a something that you have the way to overcome it if you become very positive. I hope that I could give you also my name, which is Hope. I give you a lot of absolutely fabulous feeling of joy and happiness for this Christmas and this coming year. And do not succumb to any pessimist ideas. If you do that, don't just do it for a very short time, like I do, because I am a human being. I am like you guys, but I just pop up and say, hey, I'm not going to allow any bad thing to get me out of my way to see things beautiful, see things positive and helpful, because that helps your immune system to get better too. That's why I never get sick with the COVID-19, even if my lady technician over here got it, because positive thinking help all your brain and all your circulatory system and all your cells to be happy and healthy. Be happy. Love you guys. I hope I could see you again. Bye bye.